Ciao, io sono Dylan.
E sono Kiyan.
E questo è Triple Play, a podcast italiano. Because this week we watched Italian Spiderman.
Created by El Rugo Entertainment.
Directed by Dario Russo of El Rugo Entertainment.
And released on May 22nd, 2008. The first episode. And then subsequent episodes were released on a weekly basis. But before we say any more, we should probably apologize for that intro.
You kidding? That intro was perfect. It was hilarious. Obviously we did that because this is in poorly dubbed, transliterated Italian, which I think we'll mention more in detail in a bit.
Yes, but if you don't know what Italian Spider-Man is, it is not Italian, and it's also not Spider-Man.
And if you don't know what our intro said, it said that podcast in Italian. We're not Italian.
Yeah, let's make it perfectly clear. We're not Italian.
Just in case there was any doubt.
So yes, Italian Spider-Man.
Right.
Was
a thing. I'm not wrong.
Originally a trailer made by a student at an Australian university.
It was made by Dario Russo.
Yeah, Dario Russo, who was attending Flinders University in southern Australia.
That's Flinders. There's an L there.
Flinders. Okay, so he, I think, made the trailer for his graduate project.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then he released it, and it got pretty popular. A lot of people liked it, so he just got some friends together and shot the actual thing. Yeah. I make it sound really simple, but they actually shot it on 16mm film, which is actually pretty impressive.
Yeah. So it's basically a spoof, parody, whatever you want to call it, of campy old Italian action films / other countries' interpretations of superheroes. Yeah. I know Turkish Spider-Man, Uç Dev Adam, I think is how you say it, but obviously not exactly how you pronounce it, was the Turkish Spider-Man film, which I've watched it. I watched it recently.
Yeah, you watched it because yesterday. I told you about it.
Yeah. So, you know.
Yeah.
Very much a parody of those types of films.
Yeah, and that's kind of how it came about. And it basically takes that concept and runs with it because it's, it's kind of incoherent. And
it essentially parodies the fact that other countries kind of didn't understand superheroes. Not that I can blame them, because, I mean, you see these guys with weird powers running around in colorful outfits, and they're
in tights. No less.
and I can just imagine people in other countries just going like, "What the heck?" Oh, but we also wanted to preface this, I guess we're not really prefacing it here because we're kind of into this already, that this episode might, just based on the content in Italian Spider-Man, might be a little more explicit than other
It's not going to be as PG, but we'll keep it as PG as possible. Especially since Italian Spider-Man karate chops a dude's head off, but we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Ahead of ourselves? Yeah, you walked right into that one.
Yeah, I guess.
So, I guess we'll kind of just go over what plot there is to go over.
What little plot there is. It's about 37 minutes long.
Yeah.
37 to 39. Does it open with, like, the scenes from the original trailer? Because the opening felt a bit disjointed from the rest.
I don't know. I actually did not watch the trailer. I probably should have, but...
Yeah.
Well, I guess I can now mention that this is actually my second time watching this. I watched it a couple years ago. Had vague memory of being entertained by it, but yeah.
But obviously it's way better now that you've seen Spider-Man.
Yeah. It's actually now way funnier now that I've seen Turkish Spider-Man. Because essentially Turkish Spider-Man, we'll talk about this more at the end, but Turkish Spider-Man was basically this, but not intentionally bad. Anyway, it opens with this scene and Spider-Man, Italian Spider-Man, we should probably call him Italian Spider-Man because they never refer to him as just Spider-Man.
No, he's always Italian Spider-Man.
And they say that in English. They're all speaking broken Italian, but they say Italian Spider-Man in English. He's playing blackjack against some dude.
It's blackjack. Anyway, it's blackjack. And then the other guy's like, how about we bet your life on the line? And Italian Spider-Man's like, okay.
See, no.
they show their cards. I like how it doesn't explain the rules of blackjack to you. Like friggin' James Bond Casino Royale spent an entire chapter explaining baccarat to you.
Well, that's good because I have no idea what that is. So if I ever were to watch that, then I would need that
They
explanation.
switch it to Texas Hold'em in the movie adaptation because it's easier to understand. They don't have to explain it to everyone for 20 minutes.
So yeah, they tie. Well, I don't exactly know the rules very well.
Okay, well, the gist of what you need to know to understand what happens is that in blackjack you're trying to get as close to 21 as possible.
I know that, but I don't know what happens if they both get 21. Just like nothing, or
they just both tie. And well, because there's also different levels of 21. They both got 21 natural, which is a face card and an ace.
Yeah.
Which is why they also tied. Yeah.
Except Spider-Man was a cool spider face card with the Italian Spiderman logo, which is like a
spider.
It's a lazy Spider-Man logo. It's just a circle with some spindly-looking legs coming off of it.
Legs, that's pretty optimistic. Anyway, the other guy is about to shoot Italian Spider-Man, but he's like, nah, and he pulls out a shotgun and starts gunning everyone down.
Yeah, Italian Spider-Man's powers were ambiguous, to say the least, but most of the time he either strangles people or shoots them. Kind of like the Spider-Man in Turkish Spider-Man.
I'm pretty sure Spider-Man was just a random street thug who had a spider shirt on.
Yeah, pretty sure.
The only time he ever displays actual powers is later on when he just yells at a spider, and then even later on when he apparently appears to teleport for some reason.
But might be turning invisible. We weren't sure. Anyway, yeah, Spider-Man comes out victorious through the use of heavy artillery.
That's not heavy artillery.
No, it's not, but still. He comes out victorious. Then it cuts to a party. A very 70s party.
Yeah. And this one guy's like, hey, man, I bet you I can go over there and get this girl to sleep with me. And he's like, nah, man, you're not going to be able to do that. Also, the gratuitous camera shots of the woman.
Breasts.
Of the woman. Anyway, he's like, no, I got this. So he just goes over and he's...
It's like, so how much is it going to be to sleep with you?
She slaps him. He's like, okay. And the other guy's like, nah. Should mention the other guy is wearing nothing more than a Speedo.
Yeah, well, in the opening scene with Spider-Man actually kills a guy by breaking a bottle on his face, and the woman here actually does that again to one of the guys who's coming on to her. So it's like, oh, that's kind of funny.
The Speedo on.
Yeah, so he dies, and the party kind of stops for a few
seconds. He dies? I thought he just went blind.
Well, if he's not dead, then yes, he's blind. But yeah, the party kind of stops for a second or two, and then it just continues.
Yeah, and then we cut to outside and a meteor lands.
Hey, it's an asteroid.
Okay, whatever. No, I guess you're right, because meteors are specifically burn up in the atmosphere. There's actually like semantics between all of these.
Yeah, I should know all of these.
A meteor burns up in the atmosphere. A comet orbits the sun, and an asteroid is the one that gets down to the surface.
Yeah.
I think. 90% certain of that.
Well, there's the asteroid belt, so I think it's the other way around. Okay. The comets are the ones that land on Earth.
That's true. No, because comets orbit the sun. Maybe meteors get to the surface and meteorites burn up.
We'll put this in the show notes that we're now doing. So check those out either in the description on YouTube or on the website, because now we do annotated episode notes. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, in the film it was an asteroid because of all the times they called it asteroidy.
Yeah, and all the times they just called it asteroid without the E at the end.
Or just asteroid when they lapsed into English.
Or when they call it the briefcase.
Well, no, they weren't calling it the briefcase. They were calling the briefcase that it was in the briefcase.
Nah. Anyway.
They were calling the asteroid the briefcase. All right, why not? Why not? Anyway, yeah, the asteroid then comes into possession of Professor Bernardi.
No, you forgot where the party stops because the camera shakes like everything landed, and the party stops, and they all come out and they're like, I'm doing the face from the thing. If you won't be able to see it, but which is the first of many instances that guy does that face.
Pretty sure they just got that guy to play one of the guards at the end because there was one of the guards who had like really big hair. Pretty sure it was him.
So the asteroid comes into possession of the professor, like you said.
And Spider-Man is...
Italian Spiderman.
Italian Spider-Man is having fun with a bunch of ladies.
And then
Professor Bernardi calls him.
You forgot where
And then a crocodile shows up.
No, you forgot where it suddenly cuts to a cigarette ad because he goes to his kitchen and just pulls a live chicken out of his fridge, and then
he uses his spider power. No, he uses his powers to like make it lay an egg, and he's like, that's not what I want. So then he uses his powers again, and it lays a box of cigarettes.
And then he holds it up to the screen, and he's like, the preferred choice of Italian Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was like Il Gallo, whatever. And that's when Professor Bernardi...
Probably a funny joke in Italian we're missing, too.
I don't know. Well, it's pollo in Spanish. I don't know. It's
probably the same in Italian.
Yeah.
Romance languages.
Well, that's when Professor Bernardi calls and informs Italian Spider-Man that he has the asteroid and that Italian Spider-Man should show up pretty soon. And he's like, okay, I will pretty soon. As soon as I deal with this stock footage crocodile that just showed up.
Well, it's stock footage.
Cocodrillo.
Until they cut to the inside the house, and then
it's just a guy in a crocodile mask
with a gun. And he's like, Italian Spider-Man, give me the diamond. You're like, what?
Yeah, that diamond never comes into play ever. So Italian Spider-Man's like, not even over my dead body. So they have this fight, and Italian Spider-Man chokes him out with a telephone cord.
I feel like I remember something funny happening with the toaster, but I don't remember what it is anymore. Anyway, Italian goes to the university, I guess, and there's some guy trying to hit on some lady, and Italian Spider-Man...
Yeah, it was the guy at the party, wasn't it?
I think
it was.
so. Yeah, no, it was. The Italian Spider-Man punches him, respect woman. And then he's like, now go make me a macchiato, pussycat.
Yeah, I remember actually him saying that line a lot more when I watched this 2 years ago, but I guess he doesn't. I don't know, maybe that was just the line that stuck with me over the years. But anyway, yeah, he shows up at the professor's lab.
And now we get the best line of the whole thing where the professor turns to Italian Spider-Man and goes, oh, Italian Spider-Man, I was just doing science. I didn't see you come in.
So Professor Bernardi explains the asteroid. Meanwhile, Italian Spider-Man's not listening at all, and he's kind of just checking out the Italian's hot assistant, whose name I forgot.
Doesn't matter. But the microscope...
Yeah, I think that's the commentary they're trying to make, especially when they make that blatantly obvious in like 2 minutes. Anyway.
Well... So he's holding this microscope, supposed to be looking at the slide, but he's looking at her through the microscope, which shouldn't work at all because the microscope clearly has a solid base. Yeah. Anyway, she comes in with his macchiato, and he's like, oh, thanks.
Macchiato.
Nah.
No,
tomatoes.
She doesn't come in. It's the Professor Bernardi's niece. Or maybe it's his daughter.
It's the same woman. Though. It is the same woman. But it's his niece. And he's like, oh, I see you've met my niece.
You mean it's the same actress?
No, it's the same person.
No,
it's supposed to be the same person.
No, his niece isn't his assistant.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The lady with the macchiato comes in.
Yeah, that's his niece, not his assistant.
I'm not talking about the assistant. I'm talking about the lady bringing in the macchiato.
Didn't we have a misunderstanding really similar to this in like last week's episode of...
Well, you mean like 4 weeks ago episode of Trust Your Doctor by the time this airs. Yes, we did, actually.
Anyway, yeah, his niece walks in with a macchiato.
And then...
It's macchiato. It's M.A. It's macchiato.
Tomatoes. Pretty sure he punches the professor and tells him to respect woman, too. But then he invites her over to his place 7 that evening.
7:30.
7:30.
Be there Get out of here before I change my mind.
Yeah, get out of here before I change my mind, pussycat.
Then the professor performs. Well, he shows Italian Spider-Man what the asteroid juice does. I guess it's just some liquid they extracted from the asteroid. But yeah, it basically just clones you if you ingest it. They weren't ingesting it. They were getting
shot.
They were getting shot up.
Steroids.
Yeah. So Bernardi injects it into a mouse, and another mouse pops into existence, which he proceeds to kill by beating it to death with a shoe. Then he gives the liquid to his assistant, and
shoots her.
Yeah, he shoots the clone of her.
Meanwhile, all of this...
And then they make that joke like, Professor Bernardi's like, well, since women aren't have any use to science, at least they can make macchiatos or something.
Yeah, that's when he
like
punches him like, respect woman. Meanwhile, some random lady has died by Professor Maximum, who also has ill-defined
Captain
powers.
Maximum. He had the power to turn people into snakes and turn those snakes back into people.
Ill-defined powers.
This is basically in Turkish Spider-Man, Uchdev Adam, they throw in all these other random characters, like Captain America is allied with El Santo, the real-life Mexican wrestler. So and they also have all these other random characters. So I guess this is just them throwing in the original villain.
Yeah, I just realized this. Maybe with their wrestler cameo, they're going for the thing they did in the first Spider-Man with...
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
Anyway,
the Human Spider. What? It's a terrible name. No, I don't know.
This is where that GIF comes from with the guy doing the face. I didn't actually know that that's where this GIF comes from, because I see that GIF all the time.
Wait, what? I've never seen...
You've never seen the GIF of when the guy opens the door to find the dead lady, and he does the face?
Nope.
Yeah, a lot of people on Reddit use that GIF. Now I finally know where it's from.
Huh. Okay.
Anyway, Captain Maximum tries to kidnap the professor, but he's handcuffed the asteroid briefcase to Italian Spiderman.
Yeah, he's like, look after this briefcase for me, Italian Spider-Man, and then he just handcuffs it to him.
And then Italian Spider-Man leaves.
Yeah, I forget, how does he get knocked out?
Captain Maximum just chases him down with his spider henchman.
Yeah.
Also turns the professor into a snake henchman. Sorry, the snake henchman.
Yeah, he turns the professor into a snake and kidnaps him. And Italian Spider-Man gets knocked out and wakes up on a beach somewhere.
Well, you're forgetting the hallucinogenic scene.
Yeah.
Straight out of the holiday special.
Yeah, actually. Wow. I mean, I guess this is I don't know. I was going to say this is the equivalent of the holiday special for Spider-Man, but it's really not. So yeah, Spider-Man wakes up on this beach and...
hallucinates.
No, there's some women there, some scantily clad women, and Italian Spider-Man's like, and then Captain Maximum shows up.
No, yeah, it pans over to Captain Maximum and then pans upward the body, and it shows Italian Spider-Man going, and licking his lips a lot. And then it gets to his face, and he's like,
Yeah, it's Captain Maximum.
And then apparently he has to win the briefcase back like a man by out-surfing Captain Maximum.
Yeah, Captain Maximum challenges him to a surf-off. The only challenge suitable of real men, he says, or something like that. So they surf off. They surf off, and
Captain Maximum, being a villain, cheats.
But then, so Italian Spider-Man is attacked by Maximum's lackeys, who have what look like flamethrowers, but I guess
they're spear guns, I think.
Spear guns, but they just use them to beat Italian Spider-Man.
Why would you have a flamethrower underwater?
Well, they don't stay underwater. They get on Italian Spider-Man's surfboard.
Yeah, but if they come out of the water with a flamethrower, it wouldn't work anymore.
Well, maybe all the water is actually oil.
What?
I don't know.
What?
But anyway, that doesn't matter because Italian Spider-Man pulls a conch shell out of the ocean and uses it to summon penguinos, whatever he calls them. He's like, I summon penguins, and you get stock footage of penguins, and then little stuffed penguins or little images of penguins
I think they're stuffed.
Okay, yeah, they're stuffed. They start flying in from out of nowhere and attacking Spider-Man's attackers.
And then he just jumps off the board and swims away, and then they attack Captain Maximum, and he falls off his board.
You think he's dead, but then he crawls out onto the beach, and he shakes his fist, and he's like, I'll get you, Italian Spider-Man.
And then Italian Spider-Man gets to his house and is like, oh no!
He forgot to meet up with Jessica.
I almost said pussycat.
And, yeah, that's when,
He punches her.
But then something bad happens.
Yeah.
I guess Captain Maximum shows up again.
Yeah.
Can't believe I forgot what happened already.
He gets captured again, I think.
Yeah, he and Jessica get captured at some point.
They go inside to do it, and then...
Are you just reading this off Wikipedia?
No, they're about to go inside to do it, and then Italian Spider-Man gets shot with a tranquilizer dart.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, he wakes up, and he walks forward, and it turns out the noose around his neck is connected to the snake hanging above Jessica. Ingenious.
All the snakes are little plastic snakes we didn't mention. And they have really interesting voices, like when Italian Spider-Man blow torches essentially a snake. It's like, He doesn't blow torch it. He lighter slash
that was the thing
sprays
with the toaster.
The snake pops out of the toaster. And then he uses the hairspray slash lighter to burn it.
Anyway.
I kind of felt bad for the snake. It sounded like it was in pain. It was like,
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? So, Captain Maximum reveals that he has the professor, and the professor's going to extract the serum from the asteroid for him. So he does, and then he uses it on a henchman who looks like Eric Estrada from Chips. He's wearing the Chips police helmet, too. All of the henchmen are, actually. Anyway, he injects all of it, and then Captain Maximum's like, thanks for doing my work, and then shoots the professor.
Like 20 times.
Yeah, more times than the gun can hold.
Yeah, that's a running theme later when Italian Spider-Man goes on this rampage with 2 pistols. Yeah, so the professor, you think, dies, and he kind of gets buried under some rubble, but he's not actually dead. And he entrusts
Italian Spider-Man.
Yeah, he trusts Italian Spider-Man with killing Captain Maximum and looking after Jessica. And then Italian Spider-Man punches him like a bunch of times, and he dies.
He's like, you're not dying. You're not dying. But he is. So now he goes on his rampage.
Yeah,
the next 10 minutes is just him killing all the henchmen.
Yeah, this is when his questionable power shows up. I thought he went invisible. You thought he teleported. We really don't know.
Yeah, but he kills all of them through questionable jump cuts and questionable bullets.
And questionable means. And questionable morality.
Italian Spider-Man's not a hero. He's not even close to being a good guy. If anything, Captain Maximum seems to be more of a good guy in this than Italian Spider-Man.
No, not really. I think they both have their fair share of bad traits and their fair share of not many good traits.
I was going to say Captain Maximum never really directly kills anyone himself. It's just all his henchmen, except for the lady in the university. So
he does turn people into snakes, though, and that's
but wouldn't
pretty
that be
bad.
Awesome?
No.
Wouldn't you want to be a snake?
No. Not really. I mean, they don't really have arms or legs.
Yeah, but you can eat things that are bigger than you.
And take like 3 weeks digesting them.
Yeah, and just sleep for those 3 weeks. And just be lazy for 3 weeks.
Yeah, but I do that as a human already. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway.
He just pulls an RPG out of nowhere.
Yep, and he blows up Captain Maximum's base. How did they just jump cut to that desert, didn't they? They were in like some room and they kind of just jumped to that desert.
No, they went
Maybe
to
it
the
was-
desert after the professor gave I'd say Captain America, Italian Spider-Man the serum.
Oh, Captain America's in the Turkish Spider-Man.
Anyway, now we cut to a poorly shot and not fully realized sex scene between Italian Spider-Man and Jessica, with lots of awkward.
This whole thing was pretty much just a 40-minute long sequence of awkward.
We forgot in the scene where he pulls off his mustache and
Oh yeah.
throws it at a guy.
And then when he puts it back on, it makes like this locking sound.
We also forgot his other poorly defined spider-related power when he's captured and they shoot the professor and he goes, "Ah!" and a spider jumps off the ceiling onto the henchman.
And like bites people in the neck. It reminded me of the bunny in Monty Python and the Holy Grail. You know the one I'm talking about,
yeah.
right? Yeah. So yeah.
I've seen that far into Holy Grail at least.
Oh yeah, you never finished it.
Yeah.
Yet you've seen the other Monty Python things, the other less famous in America Monty Python things.
Not all of them, and I haven't seen Life of Brian.
Anyway, yeah, the day is saved, or so you think, but Maximum isn't actually dead.
Because he goes to punch another person and tells him to respect a woman. He's getting a sandwich of some sort, I guess. No, actually, he just shows up and the guy's doing the face, and the Italian Spider-Man looks over and he's like, oh, drops his sandwich, and it's a giant Captain Maximum.
So Italian Spider-Man drinks some.
Yeah, he downs all of the serum.
No, that was the red stuff that Bernardi was working on right at the beginning.
No, I thought he downed the serum because he never used the serum until that point.
Well,
and I
the
was like,
serum was blue, but the stuff he drank was
I'm
red.
pretty sure it was blue.
I'm pretty sure it was red.
I'm pretty sure it was blue.
I'm pretty sure it was red.
Pretty sure you're gonna go and watch it now and be like, Dylan was right, it's
You're
blue.
gonna go and watch it and be like, yeah, it was red.
No.
But I guess this is why we have annotated show notes
it was
now.
blue.
Pretty sure it was red.
It was blue.
Pretty sure it was red. Kind of want to get the last word in here. Pretty sure it was red.
It was blue.
Red.
Blue.
I think we're gonna cut some of this out.
Yeah, you realize I'm editing this. I could just cut your lost word so I have the lost word. You know that, right?
Anyway, red.
Blue.
Yeah, so Spider-Man drinks whatever it was.
Italian Spider-Man.
Yeah, Italian. No, it's actually the real Spider-Man. He shows up. No. Italian Spider-Man drinks it and gets giant, and then they are about to punch each other, and then it goes to be continued. But it's never continued because it's actually just over.
The end. That's it.
Yep.
Pretty funny. Actually, not pretty much in any way related to the actual Spider-Man trilogy.
No. Or the actual Spider-Man character at all. There were no Spider-Man characters in this. Unless you count Italian Spider-Man as Spider-Man.
Everybody just knows him as Italian Spider-Man. He just never seems to take off the mask. Even when he's in bed with those ladies at that one part. And when he's about to do it with Jessica.
Yeah, so,
Pretty funny.
obviously, as we said before, spoofs Italian action films. Which I don't think, honestly, we can't speak too much to that because I don't think we've either seen many Italian action films. I've never seen any, actually.
Yeah, I think this goes a long way to show how good production values can make something awful pretty good. It's
Well,
pretty sure that like the script in anything with worse production values would have been completely terrible.
Well, it was intentionally shot to look like that.
Yeah, but it's like pretty clear that there was money and time and effort put into this.
Of course there
Whereas,
was. They
like,
had an explosion budget, for goodness
if
sake.
they had taken the script that they had and just filmed it like on their iPhones, it would have been pretty bad.
Well, he's like a graduate film student, so you would think he would
Well,
have access to...
obviously. The only point I'm making is that this goes a long way to show how good production values can take something that would probably be bad and make it good.
Well, I wouldn't say it was good. It was just funny.
Yeah, okay, that's fair, I guess.
So yeah, now after watching the Turkish Spider-Man, this is very obviously inspired by also not only just campy old Southern/Eastern European action movies, but also specifically the Turkish Spider-Man movie, Three Giant Men. That's what it translates to, Uçta Adam.
the three giant men, Captain America, Spider-Man, and
Yeah, El
the wrestler,
Santo.
El
Yeah,
Santo.
I believe so. That like I mentioned before was basically just this, but not intentionally funny. The basic premise to that is Spider-Man is a villain terrorizing. He's a counterfeiter and crime lord, terrorizing Istanbul and pumping millions of dollars into the U.S. economy. So the Turkish cops hire Captain America, El Santo, and Julia, who's Captain America's girlfriend, to stop him. And yeah.
I like how the Turkish police are hiring Captain America.
The film opens, one of the first lines of the film is, "Wow, Captain America, you speak Turkish really well." So yeah, I guess in that film, Spider-Man's a villain, obviously. No idea why. I guess they just misinterpreted the character. But yeah, Spider-Man strangles a lot of people, shoots a lot of people, chokes them out, so I guess that's kind of where they got it from-ish. I forgot to mention the point in Italian Spider-Man where Italian Spider-Man suffocates this guy with a plastic bag.
He does a lot of sketchy things. I don't know. I just like that Bollywood and Turkish film directors blatantly just steal these characters and completely misinterpret them.
Bollywood does. Well, there's
Indian Superman.
Well, there's Indian Incredible Hulk, which I've seen a trailer for, but I never actually watched.
And there's Indian Superman.
But have you seen modern Bollywood movies?
No.
The production values are
pretty
like
good,
really,
I know.
yeah.
I've been told that. Been told as much.
They're still 3 hours though, or more.
Oh, great.
At least 3 hours.
Great. Imagine doing a triple play episode on one of those trilogies. Like Lord of the Rings, except Bollywood.
Except with dancing.
Now I want a Bollywood version of Lord of the Rings. I think we're pretty much out of things to say, to be honest.
I don't think we ever really had anything to say to begin with.
No.
I think we just wanted to watch Italian Spider-Man because there's like tons of Spider-Man things out there we could have done, all of which are better than this. And we decided to just do the stupid, not actually Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Just because it was funny.
Yeah, it was totally worth it. It's like it's what we did for the holiday special.
Yeah.
Basically what we do these 0.5 episodes for, either for doing legitimate things like Jurassic Park and Animatrix, or really dumb things like this and the holiday special.
Yep.
If you want to find those other episodes, they're on our website, decorativevegetable.com. And you can email us at thedoctor@decorativevegetable.com. Questions, comments, concerns, angry rants, thoughts on trilogies for us to do, because now we kind of just wing it. Maybe we shouldn't reveal that.
I don't think anyone really thought otherwise.
They expected so much more from us, though.
Did they?
Not really. Check us out on YouTube at Triple Play. Check us out on iTunes at Triple Play. And, yeah, leave a rating if you like the show.
Yeah, check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/3ppodcast, and also follow us on... Did it again. What? Also, like us on Facebook, and also check us out on Twitter at 3P Podcast, and follow us on Twitter, and be sure to check out our next episode, which is coming out on May 4th.
Yeah, on a trilogy. An actual trilogy, not like Italian Spider-Man.
Yeah. Make sure to check it out next time. God. Fino ad allora alla fine.